Here we are today for Litha, the longest day of the year. It's the apex of light, and we know for certainty that all of our Beltane frolics and blessings are beginning to come to fruition.
Plants are bursting forth from the rows, and mothers-to-be are discovering their joy. Plants are showing promise and growing through our hard work.
So there's a very old saying that if you marry in May, you will rue the day. If you marry in June, there will be happiness soon. This comes from Beltane blessings. I'm sure you can understand them. But I actually chose Litha for my particular wedding day for that reason, because it's about the promises of things to come. So you can wish me happy anniversary, but my Baptist wife still thinks it's the 22nd, so wait a day and tell her the same. And in May, we're celebrating a promise of fertility, whether it's for our fields, whether it's for ourselves, or our wishes and our dreams. We're planting the seeds of things that we hope will happen. And in June, we know that those promises are coming and that our fertility has taken root.
This is a time of hope and looking forward to reaping the bounties we have sown. It's a time of promises being fulfilled, a time of happiness and joy. Especially now in these times, we need to focus our thoughts and energies towards realizing the promises we are just beginning to see. Even though we have the hope and the full strength of the light with us today, it is still within each of us to use it towards the positive outcomes we seek.
The story of the Oak King and the Holly King is usually talked about at Yule. The long night is a time for stories and entertainment because, well, what else do we have to do in those long, dark hours? But that only tells of the Holly King at his height of power and his impending defeat by an impetuous youth, the Oak King.
As the wheel turns, we have watched the Oak King grow stronger and finally reach the fullness of his power. And it is here, at Litha, that we see another impetuous youth, none other than the Holly King reborn.
This is the youth that demands sacrifice to ensure plenty in the darkness to come. This is the balance we all seek. The Oak King cannot give eternal light without end. It's hard to imagine now that we could be weary of dancing, that our crops could grow too full, or that our cattle could grow too fat. But without the time for rest that we know is coming in the rise of the Holly King, that is exactly what will happen.
Throw yourselves now into the joy, the bounty, the upcoming harvest of what we have sown, and celebrate Litha. Small plants, leaves, and buds growing in the soil. O fiery sun, may your rays of light and warmth bless us with abundance and allow our plants to blossom with life.
The sun is high above us, shining down upon the land and sea, making things grow and bloom. Great and powerful sun, we honor you this day, and we thank you for your gifts. Lu, Helios, Sol Invictus, Aten, Ra, you are known by many names. You are the light over the crops, the heat that warms the earth, the hope that springs eternal, the bringer of life. We welcome you and we honor you this day, celebrating your light as we begin our journey once more into the darkness. I cast a circle of protection. I cast away from us all evil and darkness, and any and all malice. By the power of the world above and the powers of the world below, this circle is cast.
This is the time of greatest light, and we embrace the light within ourselves.
The earth is in full greening. The flowers blossom. Mother Earth is in full bearing.
And yet, there is unfortunately malice in this world. Those who have not learned to live with love for the earth and fellow humans can and do cause all sorts of damage.
The world can at times be an uncertain place. It is not always easy to feel safe when faced with the unpredictableness of people, natural disasters, and climate change, and especially now, in this time of COVID-19.
Fortunately, we as witches know we can do just a little bit more to protect ourselves and those we care about. With that in mind, today we will do a protection spell that can be used to protect your home. It can be adjusted to protect your car, a specific room in your house, or even a particular person as needed.
If you're protecting a space, it's a good idea to renew the spell at least twice a year. This can be done anytime you feel it's needed. But at solstice, you will learn the powerful element as it's an apex or a peak moment of strength.
And as an example, I have gone around my home several times since I moved in with this same spell or something similar. For this spell, you will need,
we're going to need some fresh or dried rosemary. Same with the basil, fresh or dried. And we also have bay leaves as well, most commonly dried. And sea salt. We have also some rosemary essential oil. And if you prefer, you can also use basil oil as well. There's squares of white cloth or muslin bags. That's what we'll be using today. We can use red yarn or string or even pipe cleaners.
And we have a red candle to add some fire to our spell. We have some pins that we'll be using, fresh garlic cloves, and agate stones to add to your bag, which we have here, or some other stones that call to you as a protective stone. So we will now begin. Okay, we invoke and call upon thee, Hestia, goddess of hearth and home, goddess of family. We call upon you to guard us now and to empower our protection charms, which will hang in our homes in your honor. Light your hearth fires, and may their light shine upon our working. Welcome, and so mote it be.
So mote it be. In order to enjoy our lives, we must feel safe. Today, we will create charms of protection, which will render our homes as safe as our circles. Let us begin. If we take our bag, our white cloth, and we're going to concentrate on feelings of safety and protection. We're going to start by placing a few pins. Okay. We're going to follow that with some rosemary. And after the rosemary, we'll do the basil and the bay leaves. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to put some garlic in. My favorite. We all know. And also a little bit of sea salt.
Then you'll take your agate or whatever protective stone you have. And if you're using a pouch, you'll put it in your pouch. Or if you're using a square piece of cloth that you're going to tie up, put it in the center. Tie up your bag and seal it with your red yarn. And finish off by consecrating your bag with a few drops of rosemary oil or basil oil, whichever you prefer. Oh
yeah, it smells so good.
Now hold your bag with your power hand over the bag and say, I make this charm full of power to guard my home from this hour. In its walls I will never cower.
I call on Hestia to bless these charms, created in her name.
I call on Hestia to bless my home and the land it sits upon, and all that reside within it. Protect all who live in my home from harm within and without, accidental or intentional.
Bring in all that is positive and drive out all that is negative. Watch over us always. So mote it be.
So mote it be. If you are creating this charm away from your home, like some of us are here today, you may want to repeat the spell while placing the charm in your home. Great Goddess Hestia, we thank you for your presence in our circle and for your help with our magical working. May you continue to watch over us in the days to come and lend us your protection wherever we go. Thank you and blessed be.
Blessed be. I send this circle back into the ground from which it came, extending its boundaries to the edges of this property and this home. So mote it be.
So mote it be.